What's up? It's day 66, and I'm not gonna get a book review for the ninth time today because I'm kind of tired. So I'm gonna pick a random topic and talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the concept of recovery. Recovery is a really important thing, and I feel like lots of people do underestimate its importance and effect on their daily lives. And there's also the fact that recovery is one of the most important factors in other fields, in many other kind of systems, like in buildings, in companies, structures. Basically, most of the thing. The point is that nothing is inherently indestructible. Everything has its weakness, and everything has everything in our world basically has the chance to be damaged or even destroyed. So that's why recovery after those damage are tremendously important. First, I'm gonna talk about the external environments first. If you're gonna pay attention to lots of building or lots of old architectures, then you see that people do repair them a lot, and they gotta do lots of recovery on historical sites just to keep these building alive, except for a few exceptional one. Yeah, like everything does in disintegrate and deteriorate over time, so recovery is of utmost importance. You can also see the concepts through other fields, like in economic we have recovery loss. I forgot the name. Recovery the loss of certain kind of mistakes. Recovery because of unexpected damage. In companies, we usually recover. Companies usually say that companies recover from their failure in their decision making process, and recover from their maybe from their members or from the staff leaving the company. If something failed to recover, then it was mostly lose a part of its function and its capability. And just looked around. If a company lose a important staff and can't can't really find a replacement, then one of its most important capability is, I'd say, no, it's not really disabled. Is damn. There's a feeling like I do understand the word I want to say, and I'm about to say it. I'm about to say the word, and it just disappeared out of my mind. Well, anyway, let's move on to the importance of recovery to our body and also to our mind. Let's first talk about the body. Then, if we are unable to recover from scratch, from injuries and from fatal accidents, then we couldn't really be alive, because we would certainly lose having blood losses all the time, and we would soon be dead. Drop drones would soon be dead anyway. That's why recovery is important. Recovery is also a part of adaptability as well. Let's move on to the minds, because we have more to talk about that. Because the recovery concept is does relate to to a lot of our mental. There's thing like recovering our mental energy, and recovering. What am I? What am I talking about? Damn. That's doing like recovering from trauma, recovering our mental energy, recovering from something like depression, sorry, emotional, or from burnout. Lots of things are associated with recover are basically recovering somebody mind, recovering something back to its original state after it's gone through something, right? And in everybody's life, it's unavoidable that most of us will go through things that are traumatizing or things that are horrendous based on our expectations of reality. And it does take time to recover from that. If people failed to recover from their trauma or from a certain kind of burnout or depression, then of course they would be depressed all their life, or for all of their remaining life, or maybe burnout, or do something irrational, maybe suicide. Why am I getting such a dark? Why am I talking such a dark, with such a negative view though? Maybe because I'm tired. Whatever. If people can't recover from that trauma, then they would have a certain kind of trauma for the rest of their life. And also the fact that our mental energy do need to recover from good sleeps, good diets, and also good through physical movement. It feels like I'm just talking about things that are too detailed for the concepts instead of try to generalizing it first. Because I think that at first I should talk about the definition. So definition is to return something back to its original state after it's grown through something. And I should have talked about the type of recovery. There are things that can completely be recovered, things that can be nearly recovered but not 100% back to its original state, and things that are insalvageable. And the concept of recovery is applied in lots of fields, and lots of people are gonna evaluate and decide if recovering something would be more beneficial and would generate a better outcome than not recovering something. It's pretty similar to our physical body and our mind. Our physical body can't really recover 100%, can't really fully recover from physical trauma or from injuries or even from scratch that we experience throughout life. It would at least come out as some sort of scar. And even if we use some kind of scar removing products, then in the deep inside layer there would be change in our skin, and there would be hidden scar that are deep inside our skin. It's basically the same for the human mind. I don't think that it can fully recover from trauma, from being depressed. It's basically the same for someone who, like, it's basically the same for for example, a pair of lover. If one person feels that they are betrayed, then the chance that they would trust the other person again would be minimal. And even if they decided to trust again, that it's not gonna be as fully as before. That's basically the the concept of recovery in human relationship. Yeah, I should talk in a more general way instead of getting too detail when I talk about some sort of concept, because a concept is supposed to be general and applicable to lots of situations without getting too detailed, right? That's true. I'm gonna do that for my future video. And why have I chosen such a random concepts though? I can choose things like related to science field, and maybe I can talk about math or physics. I can talk about things that I'm currently doing lately. But whatever. Maybe because I'm sleepy, I'm tired. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you ever come to the end of this video, that's it for day 66.